Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to St. George's Rink, where the Salve Seahawks take on the Nichols Bison. I'm Bobby Olson on the call alongside Sean Pampin on production. And we're in for a good one tonight. The last regular season game for the Seahawks. And it comes live here from St. George's Rink in Middletown, Rhode Island. Seahawks start by deflecting it out of play and lifting it over the boards into the netting. So they'll have a defensive zone face-off here. And the Seahawks win it. That's Schwartz on the win. Puck is loose behind the cage. Nichols there to get it. Turned over quickly. And here come the Seahawks the other way. Dumped in. Seahawks battle, and it's put right in on the cage. And that's saved and held by Carroll, the senior from Nova Scotia in net. So an offensive zone for the Seahawks. Fails to win it, but it's kept in by Dermond. Rattles around the corner boards. Nichols comes away with it. Can't go tape to tape with the pass. Seahawks touch up. Try to dig it in. Amaral chasing in after it. One of the Seahawks captains. Seahawks turn it over, and here comes Nichols the other way over center ice. 3-on-3 if they want it. They don't. They dump it in and change. Nichols fights for it along the corner boards. Scrum along the boards, and the Seahawks come away with it. It's along the neutral zone now. Fought off by Baxter, the freshman in net tonight for the Seahawks. And the Seahawks have it. That's McKenzie. Schwartz, that is. Cox keeps it at the blue line. She fires over the shot from Breen. Tipped it in front, and they score! A tip in front of the goal, and the Seahawks take an early lead. 2:01 into this one. It's a great shot from the point by Cox. Well, Cox passed to Breen, and then Gothel. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are back underway here. The Seahawks took a 1-0 lead off the stick of Emma Breen. Came as unassisted in your playbooks at home. But the Seahawks lead 1-0. And the Seahawks come the other way. That's handed off there. The Seahawks. McKenzie keeps it in. Pardon me, that's Ricard keeping it in. And right on net in front, rebound, John score! The Seahawks keep the offensive pressure, and they add another one 2 minutes later. That is Jennifer Ricard, the junior from Coventry, Rhode Island, assisted by Grace Schwartz. Gothelf, another one. So the Seahawks take a 2-0 lead early in this one, and it's been all Seahawks. As they come the other way now. And a 2-on-1 for Nichols. It's a 1-on-1 with the goaltender. Saved by Baxter. Nichols put it home in a slap shot from the point. It's held and saved by Baxter. The Seahawks applying constant pressure, and it's paying off very early. Slap shot from the point was Sydney Royce of Nichols. The Seahawks fight for it in their end. Nichols keeps. Along the corner boards and the dot, that's Curran. Now a shot from the point. That's Segala. That goes off target. And Wagner has it now for the Seahawks along the right end boards. Tape to tape up the ice. She was looking for McKenzie. Now taking it in is McMahon. McMahon has along the cage, looks for it right out in front, and the Seahawks can't keep it in. Breen just a step too late. The Seahawks doing well here as they lead again 2-0 here, just 5 minutes in. We appreciate you for joining us here on your Saturday evening, as this one's dumped in and gloved down by Nichols. It's not going to be a hand pass, so we play on. Bit of tumbling going along the boards. Slight contact between Egan and Casey Johnson, but we play on. Cox has it behind her own cage, skates it up the right end boards. Bison failed to keep it in, and now here comes Egan the other way. Egan 1-on-5 as the Seahawks change, and she does well to pin Bison down in their own end, and she comes away with it for a minute. Bodies collide. Slow to get up is Rebecca Taylor, the Bison captain. And Grace Schwartz cycles, goes all the way in, just a bit wide. Carroll may have gotten a piece of it. And the Bison look to clear it out. Seahawks try to keep it in, tight roping along that blue line, and now delayed offside. So the Seahawks retreat. Right into the chest of Baxter. And she will freeze on a long shot from Collins Macedo. And the dot now is Isabella Port for the Bison. She wins it back. That was Dumont pressing. In the high slot, coming away with it is Nicole Schneiders. She passes to Amaral. Schneiders fights for it. And coming away with it is Clordy. Seahawks fighting for it in the high slot. That's Wagner looking for it. That's cleared down the ice. Not far enough for icing. And a missed pass going the length of the ice. Again, no icing. It was tipped before anything. McKenzie and Schneider's out there to chase it. Schneider's been out there for a while. She comes off. Centered in front over the back of Carroll, but not far enough. It goes off the apron. Now Cox has it. Cox dangles along the left face-off circle. She takes it behind the Nichols cage. She goes down. No arms up, so we'll play on. And now a 2-on-2 for Nichols. It's just dumped in. Clordy behind her own net to retreat and grab it. Breen geometrically to McKenzie. The Bison keep it in. Breen cycles in her own end to get it. Linesman trying to stay out of the way. Esposito, who had the overtime winner the other night. And that one bounces right in on Carroll. She'll freeze, and the Seahawks will gain an offensive zone faceoff. The Seahawks win the draw. Nichols looking to get it out here. And they just get it over the blue line. The Seahawks re-enter. That's McPherson dumping it in. Turned over quickly as it's intercepted by Pereira. She dumps it in. A scrum along the boards now. Linesman instructing these ladies to play on. And the puck exits the zone. After it is Sterling for the Seahawks. She retreats and grabs it. Pereira now has it along the corner boards. To Sterling now. Tipped ahead. Fighting for it is Schwartz. She can't get to it. And the Bison dump it in. And the defensemen change. Pereira been out there for a while. She has it behind her own cage. Dangles makes a nice move. Another nice move. Self-pass off the boards. And an outlet pass up to Schwartz. She can't handle it. Pereira keeps. Banks it off to Schwartz. Schwartz along the right wing trying to center to Gothelf, who has an assist tonight on the Ricard goal. And a +2 rating thus far. 10 minutes to go here in the second period. The Seahawks lead by 2. That one's going to go the length of the ice, and icing is called. Seahawks win it. Take it the other way. And it's along the corner boards now. Nichols fight to get it out, and they have a 2-on-2 here. Wagner forechecking hard, or back checking, I could say, to get after it. And she takes a body down in the process. Seahawks look to exit the zone. That was Casey Johnson that went down a second time now for the Bison. Breen has it at the point. She dumps it in into the right-hand corner. Cox looks to get after it to keep it in. And she does briefly for the Bison. Get it out. Green softly feathers it in. And some forwards change for the Seahawks. Good stick there by Esposito. That one fired close to the Seahawks bench by Sidney Royce. That one goes, stays in onside. The Seahawks look to jam it out. That's Esposito. Esposito fans on the back end. She was looking for McKenzie up the wing. Now a crucial turnover here. Feather out in front. The Bison almost put that one home. McMahon geometrically to Esposito. Esposito up the wing. That's McKenzie. McKenzie enters the zone. Seahawks are 2-on-5 there as they change. Esposito centers. McMahon was almost there to put that one away. And here comes Nichols as they change lines. All the way in is Nichols. Here's a pass. The shot save by Baxter. What a good chance for the Bison. That was Grace Melanson almost putting one away. That's Melanson now dumping it in. She hands off. The shot from the point. They score. Nichols gets one back. And that's Sarah Zeedon. So Nichols gets one back. So the Seahawks let one up there after some crucial zone time for the Nichols Bison. Boy, did they need it. And Nichols dumps it in. That's Clorty behind her own cage. Dangling is Dumond. Dumond can't find a winger, and that's going to go down the length of the ice for icing. So the Seahawks' tired line will have to stay on for another faceoff. Schwartz, Schneiders, and Ricard. Along the corner boards now. It's wrapped around. Schneider's fighting for it. Kept in by Schwartz. Now it's sent down the ice, and the Seahawks get a well-deserved change. After it's Wagner. Turned over. Cox. Cox has it. Shoots. Rebound is loose. Amaral can't get it. A bad turnover by the Bison almost cost them and doubled the Seahawks lead. Breen has it now. Cox wants it, gets it, shoots. Just a bit wide. Rebound out in front, but the Bison take it back behind their own cage. Nichols have it. They're coming up the wing. All the way in. Saved by Baxter. Rebound loose. As that was Zeedon, who already has one for the Bison. And now 1-on-3 goes Schneiders. Schneiders holds in the corner boards so her teammates can change. McKenzie in after it. And that's dumped out. Seahawks have it. Dumping in on the range. Esposito with a beautiful pass to herself off the boards. All the way in. Centers! Dakota McMahon almost put that one home. Just missed it wide of the net. Bison exit the zone. Up the left wing now. That's Curran. Pereira has it. Now it's Esposito. Feather it back behind her own cage. That's Pereira now. Pereira. Banks it off the glass. Over the stick of Esposito. Now goes tape to tape up the right wing. And now all the way across. As that one connected to the stick of Gosas Moberg. And we have a stoppage. So an offensive zone face-off for the Bison. Seahawks exit the zone. But Seahawks have it along the corner boards. Fighting for it. And kept in by Ricard. Ricard and Gothelf after it. And Nichols goes cross ice there. That was Gossis Moberg trying to tip it in. Schwartz fought for it. And she dumped it in so they could change. About 4 minutes to go here in the second. High-scoring affair, 2-1. Seahawks lead. Breen wants it at the point. But it's Dumond holding centers. Tipped away. Cox. Or that's Breen, rather. Can't keep it in. Delayed offsides. And now they exit. Nichols has it up the wing. Almost keeps. And it's dumped in. The Seahawks go get it. That's Cox. Cox gives to McPherson. McPherson. Cross center ice. And turned over. And the Bison are in. Shot. Doesn't really get off the ground. So Baxter turns it aside easily. Sent it out in front, and a good stick by Pereira. Denies an elite chance. Bodies collide behind the play. No whistle, so we play on. And now sent it out in front for Wagner. Wagner! We have a stoppage by the referees. It went wide. And the net came off its moorings. That may have gotten a piece of iron, but it stayed out. Wagner with a good chance and a well-taken shot. Seahawks keep it in the offensive zone, and it exits. Pereira can't find it. It's in her skates. Turned over by the Seahawks. Along the corner boards. Fighting for it is Sagala for the Bison. She can't get it. Now turned over. Gosas Moberg. Fanned on the slapper. Now Seahawks look to exit. A deflected pass. Finds Esposito up the right wing along the corner boards. McMahon after it. And now Dumond looking to get a piece of the action. It's turned over. McKenzie backhands it in. Esposito went after it. Can't corral it. Dumond goes after it with one hand on the stick. But it's sent the length of the ice. And now up the right wing. That's Esposito. Bad pass turned over and intercepted by the Bison. Esposito is looking for Schwartz, and then she takes it away by herself. Esposito looking to go all the way in by herself. Can't get up. That's Tori Amaral. Again in there, 1-on-5. And she keeps. Passes off the boards to herself for a brief moment. Hand pass for the moment, but no Bison there to touch it. Bison have it in their own end. Exiting the zone. And now it's wrapped around the boards. Schneider's there to get it for the Seahawks. Schwartz looked to pass to herself up the right wing. Couldn't get it anywhere. Well done by Schwartz. Schwartz centers to Wagner. Wagner dumps it in to change. Now it's centered out in front. Got a piece of Carroll. Now Gothelf has it. The hard-nosed winger has it along the corner boards. Passes back out to Sterling. Sterling shot out in front. It's loose. Ricard was in there after it. Couldn't get a stick on the puck. Pereira now Pereira dangles on a beautiful crossover, has it along left corner boards now, wraps around the cage, looks for a pass. She shoots herself backhand and never reached the net. 40 seconds remaining in the second, still 2-1 Seahawks. Linesman, bit of interference there. 30 seconds now. The Seahawks look to exit the zone. Long pass, tape to tape, touches nothing, and it's going to go for an icing against the Seahawks. 22 seconds remaining. So some discussions between the Salve bench and the referees. We play on here. 22 seconds to go. Won by Nichols. Along the point now, it's loose. And Esposito looks for it. Selflessly gives to McKenzie. McKenzie along the right wing. Tries to go in herself. Takes a tumble. No penalty. And now a stoppage. It's going to be a hand pass on the play. As McKenzie was looking for someone to give it to. But you can't do that. 8 seconds to go in the second period. Neutral zone face-off, so not much to expect from this one. Puck is batted around, and the seconds tick off the first period, and this one is over. 33% of the way done. It's 2-1 Seahawks. Goals from Ricard. Ricard got the first one, and Breen the second. And for the Nichols Bison, it was number 5, Sarah Zedin. So 2-1 after 20, and we'll be back in 15. Take a short break. You'll catch us back here. Welcome back to the second period here of Conference Division III hockey. The Seahawks lead the Nichols Bison 2-1. Had goals from Ricard, Breen, and then Zedin for the Nichols Bison. So we're about set here to drop the puck for the next 20 minutes of play. Seahawks bench fired up after that first intermission, and they should be. Schneider's just tied up a bit. But we play on here. It was Schneider's and Melanson has it in the corner boards now behind the Seahawks cage. That's Port. Port and Melanson have assists on the Zedin goal tonight. Zedin, the left defenseman right now. Out to the right point. Shot in on Baxter. It's turned aside. Low shot from Sagala, and that exits the zone now. Good stick by Wagner to keep it in. Wagner fans on it. As the defense change, and now the Seahawks have it fired in on net save by Carroll. Good shot there by Dumond. Now Schwartz just fires it, and it deflects off of the body of Melanson. It's dumped in by Port. Couple Bison change. Long tape-to-tape pass collected by Schwartz. Schwartz dumps it in. After it is Gothelf. Gothelf with ease and speed gets there. Centers out to Schwartz. It's blocked before then. Sticked away. Schwartz in after it. Savally gets there. And now centers. Nobody home. Esposito looks to corral it along the right corner boards. She does for the moment. And it's taken away now by Rocala. Rocala sends it the length of the ice. Seahawks there to win the race, and icing is called. Offensive zone face off for the Seahawks now. And it's won by McMahon. Sterling over to Pereira. Pereira backhands behind the cage. Esposito wins the race to the puck. Again, the Seahawks have done that often tonight. Back to Pereira. Pereira, snapshot goes a bit wide. Loaded up for that one. Now fought for along the boards. Dakota McMahon comes away with it. Esposito in after it. It comes to the right point to Sterling. Sterling fires. Just trying to get it behind the cage, and she does. McKenzie there to get it. Esposito feathers one back to Sterling. Sterling snapshot. Never reached the net. Blocked away. Now Esposito has it on the right slot. Save. Esposito fired from the right faceoff dot. Couldn't get it in. Esposito comes off for a change. Breen can't keep it in as it bounces over her stick. Uneven change for the Bison, and they got caught. But a turnover by the Seahawks. And now Bison have it across center ice. That's Casey Johnson. Turned over now. Now delayed offside for the Bison. And Egan off her face mask and keeps it in. Jill Egan still has it on her backhand. Turns over now. And a beautiful move by McPherson to keep it. Clorty carries behind the cage, cycling, looking for help. To Dumond. Dumond shoots in on Carroll, and a great save with the stick. Clorty has it, backhands behind the net. Scrum along the boards. And Schneider's has it. To the point to Pereira. Pereira skates along the blue line. Backhand, forehand. Pereira keeps. He's had it for a while to Amaral at the right point. Amaral shoots. Deflected wide. Blocked by Zedin. That's sent the length of the ice. No icing on the play as Pereira had a play on the puck. That's Sterling. Sterling dumps it in. Would have been icing, but a good play by Zedin to keep it alive. Scrum along the boards. They enter the zone onside to the Bison, and a delayed penalty on the play. And they're going to call a delay of game. So against Taylor Sterling. So a power play for the Bison. They trail by 1 here. 1 back. A shot from the point. That's Zedin. Rebound and a sprawling save by Baxter. What a save. A beautiful acrobatic save there from Baxter that keeps the Seahawks in the lead for now, but an excellent chance for the Bison. Seahawks win the faceoff. That's McMahon. Sent along the boards. That's Dumond. Esposito trying to get it out of the zone. There's a scrum along the blue line. Still loose. And finally back to Dumond, who sends it the length of the ice. Esposito in with speed after it. Here come the Bison. That's Montesi. And an offsides called. That was Casey Johnson sneaking over the line before the puck entered the offensive zone. A neutral zone draw. And sent over near the press box by Cox, but down like to the ice. Good pressure by McKenzie. Almost come up with the puck. Exiting the zone now is Sidney Royce. Up the wing to Casey Johnson. Feathered back to Rocala. And Rocala has it. Back to the left point. That's Royce. In on Baxter. And she fell on her backside, but it stays out. Looks like that shot might have caught in Baxter by surprise. So an offensive zone draw. 45 seconds left on the Sterling minor. 1 back to the point. Couple of catches played. Zedin fans on the shot. Keeps it in. Pass over. And now along the corner boards. Back with it is Gosas Moberg. Fires on net and into the netting off the stick of Baxter. Gosas Moberg with a decent chance out of Malungs for Sweden. Senior forward for the Bison. It's 1 back and a shot on net blocked. Curran tried to get it on net, and that was blocked away. This might have been Amaral, but a myriad of Seahawks in the way of that one. Curran has it up the left wing for the Bison. Curran weaving, but sticked away by Schwartz. And now McMahon off the bench for checking hard on Zedin. Zedin just dumps it in, and the penalty for Sterling is over. So the Seahawks have killed off the first penalty of the night. Now the other way comes Pereira, 3-on-3. McMahon all the way in on net. It's loose still off the logo. Rebound shot into the breadbasket. Pereira was coming in with speed through the high slot, but it's just right into the chest of Carroll. Carroll's going to feel that one tomorrow. Julia Carroll out of Albert Bridge, Nova Scotia. Love see in the chat who's watching and from where. As the Seahawks keep here. Pass to Dumont at Breen. Looks like getting it along the corner boards, and she loses possession. Dumont has it. And it's off the stick of Wagner. On the corner boards. And a delayed penalty and a stoppage. And we got interference against the Bison. So a power play for the Seahawks. That was interference by an unrostered number. So unbeknownst to the press box, it's a lone Bison in the box. But still a 2-minute penalty. So the Seahawks look to get back to work on the man advantage. Pereira has it along the left wing with speed. Delayed offsides. And a stoppage. As McMahon was in after the puck. So the linesman stops play. So a delayed stoppage here, but neutral zone face off here. It's won by the Bison and cleared by Zedin. Dumont gets a piece. Has it across center ice. Now into the offensive zones. Slams on the brakes. Out to the point. Goes wide. That was Sterling on the shot. Never really reached Carroll. Now tape-to-tape pass does not reach Nicole Schneiders. And now the Seahawks have it behind their own cage. That is Sterling. Who gives it up to Amaral briefly. Just 40 seconds left on the man advantage for the Seahawks. Not really much opportunity here. Amaral escapes the zone, gives to Wagner. Wagner enters. To the point. Feathered in by Dumont. Goes just wide of Carroll. Now Dakota McMahon has along the left corner boards. 15 seconds. Fans on the pass. Back to Cox. McMahon. Nice dangle. 7 seconds to go on the man advantage. But Dakota McMahon all the way in. Never really reached. Deflected on the way. Riley Esposito. Back to Pereira. Pereira to Cox. Cox. Back to Pereira. Pereira. The one-time shot. Fanned on by McKenzie. Didn't get all of it. Cox has it. Gives behind to Esposito. Esposito to Cox. Cox toe drags for a moment. Now Esposito picks it up. Passes over to McKenzie. Seahawks setting up now, even though the man advantage is over. And now they turn it over. Bison had a chance at an odd man rush. But it's just dumped in there by Breen. So a change. And the Bison have killed it off. So 2 killed penalties here. That one feathered wide by Sidney Royce of the Bison. And now Pereira. Up the right wing, Esposito can't corral it. Centered. Loose puck. And Esposito in after it. She has had a motor tonight. Just not stopping when she's on the ice. Always in on the play. Sent it out in front. That was sticked away by Cox. This Seahawks line's been out there for a long time. From the shot, it's in on Baxter. And she uses the pads with ease and stops play. Again, 1 penalty aside in this second period. and both were killed. It's still 2-1 Seahawks with 9:14 to go. Won by the Bison. Possession still up in the air. And the Bison have it along the corner boards. That's Clordy. Gives to Gothelf. Gothelf looks to go tape to tape to Ricard. And it's dumped in by the Bison. Clordy has it. Dumond. Saucer to Gothelf. Over the stick of Schwartz. Dumond has it in her own end. Dumond skates and a beautiful pass up to Schwartz, who feathers it in. Sticked away by Carroll. McPherson forechecks. Almost 6 men on the ice there. And a stop by Baxter on a long shot. With ease, she puts it away. Fanned on by Gosas Moberg. Now up the ice goes Wagner. And a delayed penalty, so the bench goes Baxter, and the extra skater comes on for the Seahawks. Sterling's shot never really reached. Puck's loose and just goes wide of Carroll, and now we stop play for the penalty. Erica Silva-Adams, the assistant coach for the Seahawks, screaming at Baxter to get to the bench. Of course, it was meant positively. And now a 2-minute power play. So the Seahawks go to the man advantage here. Up a goal, look to double that lead. Dakota McMahon in the circle for the Seahawks. But we stop for a brief moment. The Bison win the face-off and look to get it out. Takes a funky bounce off the end boards, but corralled by Pereira. Pereira has Cox on her right. She gives. Cox, cross ice to McKenzie. McKenzie enters the zone with McMahon and Esposito. McKenzie all the way in, almost had it. Cox now. Behind her cage, she gives to McKenzie. McKenzie loses it at her feet. Regains possession, gives to Pereira. Pereira gives to McKenzie off the backhand front hand. And a shot in on Carroll. Right place, right time. Esposito fired into the Bison logo. Both teams get a change. Good chance there for the Seahawks. Seahawks win the faceoff. It's McMahon. Sterling has it at the point. McKenzie connects with the pass. Back out to Sterling. Sterling gives back to McKenzie. McKenzie unsure what to do with it. 1.5 minutes to go. Kept onside. McKenzie uses the feet. Gives to McKenzie. And a stoppage. So we had a clock problem. Nichols' bench was screaming. So the referees will look to figure out how much time was left on the clock. Just human error, which is part of the game. So they run 10 seconds off the clock, so 7:10 now. 1:14 to go on the man advantage. Seahawks get a mini timeout. Seahawks gain possession. It's Pereira. Pereira back skates. Gives to Amaral. Back to Pereira. Pereira to Cox. Cox to Amaral. Amaral shot goes just a bit wide. Cox has it at the point. 1 minute to go on the power play. Amaral gets the puck from Pereira. Now she gets it back. Shot on the ground, tipped, and just goes a bit wide. Schneider's with a crafty tip on the play. Schneider's now has it back. Gives to Amaral. Amaral holds. Ways away from the net. Gives to Wagner right in front. It's still loose. Who has it? It's Carroll, and Carroll kept it out. Well done by Carroll again in the right spot. So it's still 2-1 Seahawks. 34 seconds to go on the man advantage. Some good chances there on the power play. McMahon now has it. Loses the faceoff, however. And well done by McKenzie to keep the puck in the offensive zone. 25 seconds to go on the power play. And she takes a tumble, does McKenzie. Dakota McMahon still has it. Too long of a pass to Esposito. Now Nichols holds in their own end. Esposito again making a play on the puck to keep it in. 7 seconds to go on the power play. Esposito gives McMahon. McMahon way across. And a shot from the point on Dumont. No good. Sterling rebound. Gives to McKenzie. Power play is over. McKenzie still has it. One-time shot to Dumont. Just goes wide. Good contact by Dumont. McMahon has it. To Sterling. Sterling to Dumont again. Snapshot. Might have been a pass. Now it's still loose. Rebound save. McMahon had the whole net. But Carroll sprawled out to make an excellent save. 5.5 to go here in the second. Shot came from behind the skates of Moriarty. And then McMahon looking to forecheck heavily. It sent the length of the ice. Breen in after it for the Seahawks, and icing is called. Seahawks applying great pressure here for the better half of the second period. Seahawks win the draw. Breen gives to Cox, who keeps it in. Ricard feathers it in. Schwartz in after it. Seahawks have it along the corner boards. And now Nichols looks to get it back, but good sticks from Breen and Gothelf. Breen has it back. Now Breen skates all the way in through the high slot, shoots. It was blocked by Royce of the Bison. Contact behind the net. And now the puck exits the neutral zone into the Seahawks defensive zone. Clarity gives to Cox. Amaral wanted the long pass, and she actually gets it, but can't get a stick on it, and icing on the play. So an offensive zone now for the Bison. They have a face-off. Long shot. And it's saved by Baxter. Still in the offensive zone. The Bison have it. Collins Macedo had that long shot. But Baxter turned it aside. And now behind her own cage, Rebecca Taylor and Collins Macedo. Now it's loose. Seahawks, one-time shot, and a save by Carroll. She leg drove from post to post and makes another excellent save to keep the Bison in this game. McPherson thought she had a goal. It was funny. The stick of Dumont actually went up at the point. Or it may have been Cox. But a lot of Seahawks on the ice thought that was in, including us up here in the booth. So Amaral in the dot for the Seahawks. She's up against Port. She wins it, the Zamro. Dumont feathers it in. Schneider's in after it, along with Wagner. Dumont fires from the point. It's blocked. Well done by Zedin. Now comes near the Seahawks bench. Schwartz wanted to glove that one from the bench. Schneider's in on Port, the battle of the 13s. Now Wagner has it. Wagner loses an edge. May have had an opportunity to shoot there. Bison dump it in and change. In after it is Sterling. Sterling up the right boards. That's Amaral. Now here comes Dumont. Dumont has Amaral with her. And Dumont keeps for a brief moment and gets it back. Dumont gives to Pereira with some forward momentum. Shoots, tipped just wide. Amaral might have gotten a stick on that. Pereira dangles backhand, but a great body there by Curran. And a stoppage by Baxter. It's all the way in on her, and we get a stoppage. 2.5 to go here. Seahawks still on the man advantage for one more minute. And a stop by Baxter. Seahawks haven't really generated much chance on this man advantage thus far. But this unit had some good chances. It's Esposito. Bank pass to Pereira. Pereira enters almost alone, and now her teammates catch up. Dakota McMahon dangles along the left corner boards, almost loses her footing. McMahon getting shoved around by Zedin. Pereira now. Saucer pass does not reach the stick of Esposito, and the Bison clear it out. 8 seconds to go here on the power play and 2 minutes to go in the period. Scrum along the boards. This period has been one of stymied offense and stubborn defense. Cox has it. And a scrum along the boards picked up by Schwartz. That's Emma Breen with it now. Long tape-to-tape pass to McKenzie. Seahawks had a 2-on-1. But puck could not be corralled. And a stoppage on the play. And that might be 6 on the ice for the Seahawks. Seahawks had not 5, not 6, but 7 players on the ice, and that's going to be a bench minor, and Schneider's will serve it. Just a miscommunication of who was coming off. So a poor substitution there by the Seahawks. And Emma Breen's going to take a seat. She'll be in there for the remainder of the second period, that is, if Nichols doesn't capitalize on this opportunity. Bison win the draw, and a shot into the Seahawk logo. Some extracurriculars after the play. Moriarty on the shot. Another face-off. Back to Moriarty. Moriarty holds, then shoots. And that's off the skate of Dumont. That was headed for the right bottom corner. Seahawks trying to get it out. Gothelf there, and now Dumont sends it corner to corner. Length of the ice. It goes. Behind her net is Rebecca Taylor with it. Now it's up the ice. Comes Port. And losing her stick is Sterling. And now a delayed penalty call. And we have interference against Isabella Port, rather. So the Bison shut down their power play. And we'll go to 4-on-4 with 35 seconds to go. So the Seahawks take a bad penalty, and the Bison say we can do you one more and shoot down our own power play, and they do. So a brief 4-on-4 for 35 seconds, which is what's left in the second period. Won by the Seahawks. And a soft pass to Esposito from Sterling. Gets intercepted, 25 seconds to go. Shot goes way wide. The Bison keep possession. Now collision and a stoppage. Baxter didn't know where it was, and the puck was loose, and a quick whistle from the Zebras. So an offensive zone draw in this 4-on-4. Set the length of the ice, and it's going to be on net, so no icing. Esposito in after it. Seahawks could get a shot if they wanted to. Dumond holds and shoots after the whistle. Of course, she didn't know how much time was left. The scoreboard was behind her. That's going to do it for the second period. We'll be back in 15 minutes. It's 2-1 Seahawks. Welcome back to St. George's Ice Rink in Middletown, Rhode Island. I'm Bobby Olson alongside Sean Pampin on production. We're still in a tight one here. 2-1 Seahawks lead after 40 minutes to play. We got 1/3 of the game left. We're still 4-on-4 on the ice. As a clean sheet brings us to the final 20 minutes where the Seahawks have outplayed the Nichols Bison, but not by much considering the scoreboard. So 25 seconds left on Emma Breen's bench minor for too many men on the ice. Here's Dumond. Looks to go to Clordy. Clordy takes a spill. 5 seconds left on Breen's penalty before Seahawks can get out and ready. And a shot that goes on Carroll. She makes a save. I see Esposito looking for it. But McKenzie has it now. Seahawks have a brief 5-on-4 for about 30 seconds. McKenzie has it up the right wing. Turns it over quickly. And it can't be cleared. And a delayed offside on the play. Pereira couldn't corral the puck. Seahawks win the draw. 20 seconds to go on the brief man advantage. Pass is tipped. Cox couldn't corral it. But now it's up to McMahon. Seahawks have a 2-on-1, or 2-on-2 rather. And McMahon's shot is way wide. Breen has it. Breen goes back to the forehand and loses possession. Puck pops up, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Shot pops up in the air. Bit of confusion on the ice for the Nichols Bison in terms of who was coming on, who's coming off, but no penalty. Esposito dumps it in, and she gets off the ice. The Bison have it in their own end, and they'll bring it out. Turned over and in on net. Schneider's fanned on the second attempt, but Carroll put away the first. Now Pereira chases in after it. Pereira to Wagner. Wagner feathers one off the boards to Amaral. Softly but artfully. Now Wagner looks to get back to Pereira. She can't do so. But a good stick there by Sterling. Here comes Pereira. Enters the zone. All her teammates change. Here come the Bison the other way. Leading the charge. That's the 26 of Gosas Moberg. Gosas Moberg all the way in. But sticked away by Wagner. Wagner off the boards. Bank pass to Schwartz. As Wagner comes off the ice. Schwartz wrap around. Set her right in front. And Gothelf couldn't put that one away. A beautiful play by Schwartz. I think she was trying to shoot it. But the puck actually came to Schwartz. To Gothelf, rather. And she couldn't put it away. Still 2-1. Scrum along the boards. Dumond comes away with it. Bank pass goes right to the Seahawks. A generally lucky bounce there as Ricard was there, but just couldn't catch up to it. Cox has it at the left point from the pass from Ricard, and Ricard take a well-deserved rest. All the way in. Now the shot deflected away. The puck is centered out in front. Nobody home. And the shot is loose. The puck was loose. And now a stoppage. And the puck's off its moorings. Tends to happen a lot here. So that was Katie Fox out of Quincy, Mass, who had a golden opportunity but couldn't put it away. So Dakota McMahon in the dot for the Seahawks. She wins it back to Cox. Seahawks lead by 1 here with 16 minutes to go. McMahon can't keep it. Cox in there, however, to get it back. And now it's Esposito. Esposito along the corner boards gives to McMahon. McMahon thought about centering. Cox called for a one-time shot. No good. Rebound goes to McKenzie. It finds Esposito to the left of the goal. She caught her by surprise. Breen takes down a Bison. Now tape to Esposito. Esposito ahead of the defense by a little. Gives to McKenzie. McKenzie gives to Esposito. Esposito holds on her backhand. Sterling keeps it in. No offsides. And now Sterling thinks about a shot and now centers, but she turns it over. Here come the Bison against a tired Seahawks defense. Coming in and cycling around the goal. That's the 13 of Port. The Bison can't really set anything up until now. The 16 of Melanson fighting along the boards. And now it's centered and sticked away by Baxter. Pass picked off by Curran. Curran in after it, but Pereira holds. Pereira to Sterling. Sterling been on the ice for a long time. Beautiful play by Emerald. As bodies collide at center. Schneider sticks it ahead. It's going to go softly down the ice, and icing's called off. So just not enough mustard on that puck. Now Dumont sticks it away. A collision at center ice. Wagner went down. And a delayed penalty on the play. Puck goes over the helmet of Baxter as we are skating 6-on-5 for the moment. Bison keep it in. And now we stop play at 14:01 of the second interference on the play. It's going to go against the 18 of Dumont. And Dumont disagrees. So a much-needed man advantage here for the Bison as they trail by 1. Puck won by the Bison. One-time shot, and it's blocked in front. That was Breen. Isabella Port was after it, and now that sent the length of the ice. Port has a very powerful shot, and that was on display. Almost losing an edge was Rebecca Taylor. Rather the 5 of Sarah Zeden. She takes it in. Gives to Gosas Moberg. Gives it back to Zeden. Now it's the 13 of Port. Back at the point, but it's turned over and cleared by Ricard. 1:15 now on the man advantage for Bison. They really need to capitalize on this opportunity with some good chances. The speed of Esposito gives the Seahawks back possession. They'll bleed some time now for the moment through the wickets of Pereira and exits the zone. Pereira gets it back. She clears the length of the ice. Chased in by Esposito. She forechecks heavily. Again, been the motor of the Seahawks team tonight. Hard stick check from Esposito. No arms in the air. Bison turn it over. A very sloppy man advantage here for Nichols. Really just been skating around for the last 90 seconds. And now a stoppage, and Esposito hits the deck. And no call on the ice. Esposito is standing on a Nichols Bison stick, and they didn't take to that very happily. Beautiful body check there from Emma Breen, and it's sent down the ice by Tori Amaral. So just 5 seconds left on the man advantage. Excellent penalty killing from the Seahawks. And we're back to even strength. Dumont comes out of the box, and Wagner comes in. Wagner forechecking heavily. Cox turns it over. In her own end now, it's Isabella Port. Stick-to-stick pass to the 25 of Sydney Royce. Chasing it in her own end is Sagala of the Bison. Kern to Segala, now to Port. Tape to tape. Cannot be corralled by Grace Melanson. And now here come the Seahawks. That's Sterling. Sterling along the right-hand board. Cycles to the front of the net. Centered, but nobody home. Kept in by the 7 of Schwartz. 11:15 to go here. Seahawks clinging to their 2-1 lead, but outplaying the Bison thus far. Gothelf behind her own net. Spins. Keeps Schwartz. Saucers to Ricard. Ricard couldn't handle it. Not sure anyone would have been able to. Now Gothelf to the left point. Dumond. Dumond to Clordy. Clordy's shot never reached the net. Blocked by Moriarty. That one is skied. Out to center ice. Ricard. Spinorama. But turns it over. And it hits the leg of a Bison forward. And here we go. High slot. That one's blocked by Clordy. The shot coming high off the stick of Segala. And that could have tied this game. Now centered by Segala. Nobody home. Aiming for the 14 of Ricala. Clordy has it after that crucial block shot. Boards from Dumond through the stick of McPherson. Jill Egan in after it. Pass fails, goes tape to tape for the Bison. Here comes Cox. Cox 2-on-1. Cox shot saved by Carroll. She had the 16 of Katie Smith to her right, but took the shot, and it wasn't a bad decision. 10 minutes flat left in the third period. The Seahawks still lead by 1. Cox to Breen. Breen shot wide of the goal. And now centered out in front, McMahon. Bank pass back to Breen. Breen dangles. McMahon looked to get back to Cox. That's a hand pass, but we play on. And Cox keeps. Cox looks to get it into Esposito, but it's sticked away. Breen re-enters the zone. Breen carries behind her own cage, or the Nichols cage, rather. Back to McMahon. McMahon, flat shot. It gets all the way in on Carroll. And now it's centered. McMahon after it, but can't connect. Breen dumps it in. I think she wanted to change, but didn't get in far enough. Here comes Nichols the other way. It's going to go wide of Baxter. She sticks it for Carroll, or for Cox, rather. Here comes Amaral up the ice, 2-on-2 as Esposito on her right. Amaral, backhand, front hand. And the Bison take it back. Pereira gets skated around by the 16 in green. Grace Melanson with some nifty skating there. Centered out in front, and a good stick there by Amaral. And or Pereira, and Wagner was in on the play as well. Bison starting to press here as that one's dumped in by Taylor Breen of the Bison. Amaral behind her own cage. Now Sterling. Sterling, long pass to Wagner. Wagner has Schneiders on her left, Amaral on her right. Now Amaral. Amaral from the right dot. It's blocked, never reached the net. And here come the Bison. That looks like Rebecca Taylor, who fires one on net, and it's into the netting off the stick of Baxter. Just under 8 minutes to go here. Seahawks lead 2-1. Seahawks win the defensive zone draw. Dumond up to Ricard. Looks to get it out of the zone, and she cannot do so. Now delayed offside. Clordy and the Seahawks defense have a second to breathe, but they don't even want to take it. Clordy. Bank pass and a big hit on Ricard and a penalty. She took that one very high. She took a heavy hit, did Ricard. And that's a hard-earned 2 minutes. Ricard's going to take a second to collect herself. Took one up high on the neck. And that one was ugly. That could have been interference, elbowing, roughing, whatever you wanted to call it, but 2 minutes nonetheless. And the Seahawks power play looks to double their lead. All the way out in front, Amaral almost put that one home. Pereira to Esposito. Back to Pereira. Pereira now looks for Esposito. Can't go tape to tape. Esposito holds. Now centers one-time shot off of the stick of McKenzie. Can't get it home. Now Cox has it. And she shelves it. What a shot from Cox. And Ricard takes the hard check up high. And her teammates pick her up. Cox snipes one home. And it's 3-1 Seahawks. A beautiful pass from Dakota McMahon, and it's a 3-1 lead for the Seahawks. Back come the Bison the other way, and it's in on Baxter. She took a stick on that. Bison keep it in briefly before Schneiders gets it back. Schneiders carries in 1-on-4. She dangles and almost gets in on Carroll, but well done by Schneiders while her teammates changed. Seahawks showing lots of camaraderie tonight after Ricard took a heavy hit on an interference, and the Seahawks captain Matty Cox took advantage on the power play. And here's a shot blocked in front and goes wide off the stick of Jill Egan. Egan actually got a piece of that initial shot from Breen. Now Gothelf in after it. The Bison have it. Scrum along left-hand boards and now taken away by the 14 of Ricala for the Bison. That one's cleared down the ice. Cox has it. She has the insurance goal as of late. That came just on the power play. 5 minutes to go here in the third period. Seahawks hold a 3-1 lead. Dakota McMahon, who assisted Cox. Poor pass comes to the stick of Dakota McMahon. McMahon dangles through the high slot once again, and she goes down. No arms in the air. Beautiful stick handling by McMahon. Deserved a penalty on the play, but given the circumstance of the 3-1 game, the referees keep their hands down and we'll play on. 4:45 now in the game. It's the 3 of Sterling behind her own cage. Plays catch with Pereira and gets it back. Esposito bleeding behind the Nichols defense and almost gets a perfect pass from Sterling. Nichols has it back. Looks to enter the zone, but well done by Sterling to deny access. Esposito with Amaral, 2-on-5 as the defense changes. Wagner coming in on a beautifully placed pass from Esposito. Now cross-ice pass came to Clordy. And now here come the Bison. Had a 2-on-1, but the beautiful back checking from Wagner. And now here come the Seahawks. Amaral in after it. Here's a shot from the point. In and just wide from Dumont. Clordy has it in the corner boards. 4 minutes to go. Amaral to Dumont, who called for it. And she shoots just off the pad of Carroll. With 3.5 to go, the Bison may pull as soon as the Bison exit the zone, but for now, still 5-on-5. That one's fired in off the stick of Dumont. 3.5 now left on the clock. Schneider's in on a scrum. Now here's Emma Breen. Emma Breen dangles, front hand, backhand, shoots, loses possession, keeps it now. Now fired in. Schneiders finds the 9 of Jill Egan. And she keeps. Centered to no one. And here come the Bison. Eyes on Carroll as the Bison may go 6-on-5 momentarily as they change. Under 3 minutes to go now, and the Bison trail by 2. Up the right wing. That's Taylor Breen. In a scrum with Gothel. And now that's Isabella Port, or Rocala rather. Dumped in on Baxter. She keeps. 2.5 to go. And Carroll still between the pipes. Gothelf to Cox. Cox banks it down the ice, but it's kept in by the Bison. Carroll looking at the bench, looking when she can go out. She's still in between the pipes. Not sure what the Bison are doing here, chasing by 2 goals. And now here comes McMahon. McMahon with a beautiful dangle. She enters the zone, outmanned. And now just 2 minutes on the clock for the Bison. Out comes to Esposito, stick behind the cage. She centers. McKenzie could have gotten a stick on it. She doesn't. McMahon has it back. McMahon skates around the offensive zone. Pereira shoots. And that one hit the crossbar. What a tip by Esposito. Somehow got that one shelved up. And that took a funky bounce off of the freshman stick. Amaral, 1.5 minutes to go. 90 ticks away from a Seahawks victory. Sterling has it at the point, just dumps it in. Esposito finds it behind the cage. Esposito looks to give back to Amaral. Amaral gets it. Seahawks changing 4-on-5 with ease here. Now Amaral has it at the left point. To Pereira. Pereira loses possession. Now just dumps it in. Wagner in after it. Bison turn it over. Amaral to Pereira. Pereira looks to the right slot. That's Wagner looking to get something on it. And now the Bison get possession. And Carroll's just going to stay. Bison look to center. And they get it back at neutral ice. It's Zedin who has the 1 goal for the Bison tonight. I am surprised to not see Carroll out of her net in what was a really tight game. And now here's a 2-on-1 for the Seahawks. It's Schwartz and Egan. Schwartz just cycles on out. And then a beautiful spin. Centers out in front for Egan. Egan lost an edge. 15 seconds to go. Breen from the point shoots. That never reached the net. Breen tightropes along the blue line, keeps it in as the final seconds tick off the clock. 3 and counting. And the final buzzer will sound. The Seahawks get a hard-earned and well-done 3-1 victory. Big goals for the Seahawks tonight came from Maddie Cox, which was the 3rd one. Ricard. And just a beautiful job from the Seahawks tonight. They get the 3-1 lead and 3-1 win. I'm Bobby Olson alongside Sean Pampin on production. We thank all about 50 of you who came to watch us. And that's going to do it for the Seahawks regular season here. Catch the men's in the playoffs, and we'll see how the women's standings turned out. Once again, thanks for watching and have a good night.